All right, looks like the stream is working. This is my first stream. I'm working on my game engine. Currently what I'm doing is I'm in the middle of rewriting it. So in the old system, that's kind of what I have over here on this right side. The main problem with it is everything is very static. So if you look over here, I can just sort of manually set things one time. I mean, I could change the positions, but I can't be like dynamically loading and removing different assets. And so that's what that's my main reason for rewriting the engine, is to have a much better ability to dynamically add and remove stuff like you need in any game engine. And so what I'm currently working on right now is getting images and samplers working. Some stream problem. Okay, let me fix this. Oh, I have to stop to fix it, or maybe that'll work. It's working on, oh no, it's not working on either. Maybe I can't encode fast enough. Yeah, I'm trying to stream to both YouTube and Twitch. I was trying to use different settings, but I don't think it's working. I think I have to stop everything, then I can fix. Looks like Twitch is working. It does still say it's unstable. Should be fine. But YouTube, oh, there goes YouTube. Okay. All right, looks like everything's working now. But Twitch still says unstable. It's only 6 megabit, so it should be fine, but I don't know. But anyway, hopefully all this is readable, because I'm going from 1440p down to 1080p now, so I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to fix the sampler right now, so let's see. Yeah, so I need to get all of these filters from the GLTF file when I'm trying to load in a sampler. So actually it'll start model. Actually, instead of doing samplers, there's a different issue I need to figure out, which is actually managing the indices and all of the data for the images. And so part of what this rewrite has been writing these, writing some basically memory allocation library for the GPU, and it works on the CPU as well. This code is kind of a mess, but at least it works for now. And that's been a big part of it, is getting this memory allocation stuff working right, so that I can actually dynamically load and remove stuff as I want. Let's see. Yep. And so now what I need to do here is integrate the images into that system. So here I'm loading the texture from asset. So if it has value, base color texture has value, texture.image index. Yeah, I think a texture should always have an image index. How am I loading this in here? So if I look at my image, yeah, so I need to pass this an asset, an image ID, and then relative path. And really, I think, look at this memory manager. This is just, originally I was going to do buffers and images, but I'm just going to do images now with this memory manager. So I'll probably rename it to something, but all this really does is manage the lifetimes of images for me. Yeah, so I either give it, yeah, an asset, an image ID, or a path, or just a path. Okay. So then I need to go back to my model. Yeah, so this is my image ID. So if I get the memory manager and memory manager create image. Let's see, I want the asset, so that's the asset is from, I'm using the fast GLTF library. Oh, hold on, cable tied up. On my old system, I have my own GLTF loader, and it does work, but fast GLTF should be faster, and it's less for me to have to maintain because this is like really boring to write. It's just parsing these files and all this JSON stuff. And so I'd rather work on more interesting things than loading JSON files. But anyway. Yeah, so I should be able to get the asset here. And then I need the image ID. So that's texture, image index, value, and then I wanted a relative path, but why am I doing that? Image. Oh, put it over here. Image, relative path. Shouldn't I be getting that from the image ID? Yeah, I need to be getting that from the URI, actually. Because I pull up the, here's the fast GLTF documentation. Let's see. Okay, it looks like the stream's working correctly now. That's nice, but I don't know how visible it is. Let me check on this really quick. Twitch probably has worse quality, at least. Okay, that's somewhat readable. You can tell what's going on. Should be all right. Anyway, yeah, data source. Oh, let me flip these. There we go. Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out now is how I want to handle like naming these images. So currently in here I'm using the relative path for an internal image name, and so that how I'm keeping track of all these images is you just give it a name, and then you have a pointer to an image, and so that makes it simple to access stuff. And I can do it by relative path, which is fine because I look in some, where is it, over here, assets, GLTF, right? So I can just use like the relative path in the assets folder for the image. Yeah, so here I have a whole bunch of images. But I think it's like GLB files, if they have images built into them, some of this might be a problem, but yeah, but currently I'm not doing buffer view images, so if something's built into a GLB file, I can't really do anything with it right now. But anyway, I just want to get the basics of this working with at least files. So I'm getting the URI. Yeah, so I have this URI string. Yeah, and that should be the position relative to the GLTF file. Is this URI? I would think. But I'm not exactly sure because this isn't too clear. But from it like it wouldn't make sense for it to not be relative. Anyway, yeah, and then this relative path is relative to the assets directory. So it starts there. Okay. Yep, so I can load the image. And then insert. Yeah, so I need to know what the relative path is, but this would just be a little weird. Okay, yeah, so this is going to the GLTF file. Okay, so this doesn't need to be called relative path. This should be called like GLTF path or something. Oh, hold on, missing a little. There we go. Why did that not work? Conflict with name symbol. What? I think the LSP server is having trouble. Oh no, GLTF path. Okay, I see. What does this be? This is just GLTF. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm doing here, just to speed up load times, once like a PNG or JPEG is decoded, I'm just dumping it, the raw pixels, back to the disk. And for the small amount of stuff I'm doing now, like the small amount of textures, it doesn't really matter. But like eventually I might put it into like a better image format, like JPEG XL or something, and see if I can load stuff faster. But for now, it's just for slightly faster startup times. So that's what all this is. It's just figuring out caching for that. So yeah, relative path. Call this. I don't know, relative base path. It's a really bad name, but whatever. Relative GLTF path, whatever. Just trying to make it clear so it's not confusing anymore. All right, and then over here, got the model. So now, yeah, so right here, I want, it's basically the model path, I believe. It should be. I think so. I'm gonna, go. No matching member function for call. Sign long, because it's a longer thing. What's the problem here? Oh, it's const reference, and you want there. That should work. And then if it doesn't have an image index, I don't know, throw an error. So if it doesn't have an image index, yeah, give the name of the texture at least. I could say model path plus image index string texture image index value. There we go. And eventually I'll have like better logging and errors than just this, but it's good enough for right now. I'm more concerned with getting the basic logic and everything working first. All right. Okay. So we've created this image, and now, so this material data struct, is it put to implementation? Where? What? Hold on, there's something wrong with, should work. Or no, let's go to definition. There we go. Yep. Yeah, so these indices get used in the shader. So if I put my shader here, so this is at least the old shader I'm showing now. So I'm passing in these indices, and that tells you like where the sampler and image and all that is, because all this is like bindless rendering. If I go to vertex shader, so see it's I just have this buffer full of materials, and then depending on which object you're using, like you can pick the material. So down here, I have all these instance indices and material indices. So each material is one indirect draw command, and then the indirect draw command can have multiple instances, right? And so I'm pulling the material per indirect draw here. That's why it's jail-based instance. And then all this is just handling all the indices and stuff to get the data out. And then there's more indices that point to all the images it might need to use for that specific material. That then gets used in the fragment shader for PBR stuff. Okay, so then back to model. So I need to figure out what the base texture index would be for this image I just created. And so for that, I think I might need to use the memory allocator library here, because that's kind of what it was built for, is managing these indices. Just trying to figure out how I actually want to do that. Because, yeah, basically I need a, if we look how I'm doing the descriptors. So, yeah, what I need here, this isn't, yeah, pointer to an image, but this is actually, I'm just thinking about it, right? If we have like, this would be like a vector of, yeah, images, that's fine. Called images. And then I guess, yeah, actually it's VK image info. Does that work? What does this take? Descriptor image info. Descriptor image info. Yeah, and then so this would just be like info.data. There. Yeah, you don't like me doing that there. Yeah, so hold on, is there? Do I see? Can't see Twitch. Oh, yeah, one viewer. Okay, that's me. Okay. Anyway. Pimage info, infos.data. Yeah. So in here, I need to, yeah, I need to load up all this image info. So yeah, I'm trying to remember how this, the descriptor for images works right now, because I also need to build out descriptors here to actually send them to the GPU. But I'm trying to remember how this works, because if you look in the fragment shader, right? So like this is a whole bunch of texture 2Ds, right? So I assume that's the VK image. So then yeah, okay, I guess that's yeah, okay, I see how it is. So up here I have the descriptor count, so I'm also going to need to set this for images, right? So since these are arrays of textured 2Ds, in Vulkan terms, I guess, or what I'm looking at now for descriptors, this is just like arrays of, this is like an array of descriptor image info. And so I need to be able to set the count up here, and that count is like how many are in here. So, and this is per descriptor, right? So maybe I'm kind of going about this the wrong way, because a lot of this, like per set, per binding, was all made to do buffers. And you usually just have like one buffer. But for here, you can have like multiple image infos. Because yeah, you'd have like one buffer and you'd have a whole bunch of stuff inside the buffer. But this is a little different. So let's see. And so at the very least, I have to be setting descriptor count. And then I need to keep track of all the images that I need to upload. And I guess I'll just do all of the images currently, right? Ideally, I'd only be rebinding the stuff that, or actually not binding, but just updating the stuff that I actually need to be updating. But that's a little more complicated, because I have to be like analyzing the render graph, I think, and I don't have that working yet. So for now, I will just update all the images. So then what this descriptor count needs to be is the number of images I have in this memory manager thing here, right? Yes, image and images, yeah. Except, so one thing though is, like we have different types of images, right? So like there's images, normals, so images is like textures, and then normals, metallic roughness, AOs, right? And so I can't just put all of it into one binding, right? So then, yeah, so there's this descriptor name here, and then so depending on the descriptor name, then I get different sets of images. So if I look, when I'm, so one thing I'm doing with the shader when I'm processing shaders is getting the, I'm using Spear v Cross to do reflection on the shaders, and so that lets me do some really cool stuff, like basically automatically generate the buffers. Now I can't automatically size the buffers, because like that's kind of a CPU thing of how much data I'm putting into the buffer in the first place. But basically everything except the element count for the buffers I can automate, or abstract or whatever. And yeah, I am manually setting usage of memory properties, but that's fine for now. Again, that's more of like analyzing the graph. Same thing with doing synchronization. I'm still doing manual synchronization. But anyway, yeah, so I'm adding an image here, and then this name, yeah, so I have the set, the binding, and then the name is the name of the, this here, so like images or whatever. So, So maybe I need to change up this memory manager a bit, because it's not exactly going to be images like this. Or might need, trying to figure out how I'm going to basically map from the GLTF files into the shaders. And I need to do that in order to get like the texture index and all that and update the descriptors properly. So, let's see. Coffee. For infos, data. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit tired because I've been working on this most of the day. Yeah, so descriptor count. So what this needs to be is I need to get the number of images that are tied to a certain name, right? So actually, if I go, this is my fragment shader. Yeah, so right now I just want to do regular, yeah, like I have frag text chord here. So I have two copies of my shaders. One of them is for the old stuff, and this one's for the new, for the rewrite. Okay, and I already have everything in here, so that's good. Yeah, so material. Okay, yeah, so I'm just pulling all these indices out, so that's good at least. I don't know if I want to call this image index. I'd rather call this like base texture index or something, because these are all images technically. I think that's a little better. Yeah, and then in here, so in frag text chord, and then I also need I don't know why the same. Oh yeah, sampler's on 2. That makes sense. And then this is on 3. So I need the sampler and the image. So even though I don't have sampler set up, I'm just trying to get this into a working state first. At least like get the shader set up so I can understand how it's all going to work. So yeah, here's grabbing the texture using the sampler and the text chord. Yeah, that's what I want. And so I just multiply the color by that. Let's just say for or is that? Yeah, I think that's a vec4. Texture color equals this. Texture color. There we go. Okay. So I have the sampler index and the base texture index. This needs to be base texture index and sampler index and frag text chord. And also one thing I'm doing in this rewrite is I'm going from camel case to snake case. I don't know, I just felt like doing it. I might go back to camel case, I'm not really sure. But for now, I'm doing snake case. So let's go to... Let's go here. Yeah, so I have this base texture index, and then that's basically what's going to end up in here for base texture index. Yep. Okay. That's what I want. And so now descriptor name, that's going to be the so descriptor name would be, or no, I need a texture in here. Hold on. Images. Yeah, see, that's why I'm trying to get the shader set up first. Because I do need, yeah, I need the sampler, and then these are just the indices. Right. Out, yeah, so that's not out sampler index. Hold on, what am I doing? Yeah, this is what I want. This. Sampler index, image index, text chord, samplers, images. Okay, that makes sense. And then instead of images, this should be base textures. There we go. So now this should be a working shader. If I can get the rest of it working. Right, so in pipeline here, this descriptor name, this is what would be that base textures from the shader. And then it's not a buffer, so not doing any of that. But I would end up either sampler, but sampled image is what I'm looking at now. So then this descriptor type I'm looking at here, this comes from the shader reading this. It should, where is it? Descriptor layout, add image. Yeah, so I look at my descriptors somewhere and add image. Yep, so here we go, sampled image. And then so when I'm actually updating the descriptors themselves rather than just creating the layouts, just going by whatever descriptor type it is. So now if it's a yeah, so the descriptor name is the images or whatever, base textures. Yep. Then what I need to do here is get all of the base texture image infos, whatever. Okay. And that would end up going in memory manager here. So yeah, it's not exactly, I don't exactly just want to have this one image name. I want to have it, I'm thinking about this. This might be better if I let the model own the image instead of trying to do it in this memory manager class. Because then with the memory manager, I can use that to point to specific images and models. And then whenever I get rid of the model just by calling delete, then that'll automatically clean up the image and all of that. Instead of trying to do it separately in here. So yeah, I think that makes more sense. Yeah, since images are going to be per model anyway. So, okay. Then what I need to do, let's do mod, yeah. So I'm probably going to have an unordered map just going from the image index to the image class. So that, yeah, that should work. And then if it already exists, then I won't recreate it. Okay. And then, yeah, I want to look at, but I do want to look at the GLTF spec first. Is this? Yep. Yeah. So images, URI, whatever. Yeah, buffer view. Okay. Just want to make sure that like this is the only place I'm going to find an image, but yeah, it makes sense. Yep. Images referred to by textures are stored in the images array. Yeah, so when I come across an image, right, I don't want to just preload all the images because it's possible the file could have an image in there that it's not using. I don't know why you do that, but this way seems a little better. I don't know. Maybe it's better to preload all the images because then I have to deal less with like actually trying to manage like duplicate images and things like that. Yeah, because right now, like if I have an unordered map going from image indices to the images themselves, right? Then I have to worry about like checking if it's if it exists or not. But if I change this around to just be like a vector of images and just go ahead and preload all the images before I go and try to actually like, load all the primitives and the materials and all that, then I just look in the vector and it's fine. Yeah, that's probably the better way to do it. Yeah, it's just if there are unused images, then those will also get loaded, but I think it's not worth the extra complexity because, like, I don't know, I could just do like a first pass over the files and remove any images that aren't referred to it, that don't have a reference to it or something like that. That's probably better than trying to manage like the complex system of whether or not an image already exists. So yeah, and then these are just images referred to texture stored in the images array of the asset. Yeah, so these don't have like this is 0, this is 1. They're not going to be like mixed and matched. Okay. Okay, then what I want to do is way up here when I'm starting the model, before I do anything with scenes, because once I create the scene, then the scene is going to create the nodes, and the node is going to create like the mesh and the primitives and the materials and whatever, right? So before I do anything, so preload all images. I probably eventually want to do the same thing with like all the buffer views. Yeah, but for right now, I'm just gonna do the images. And I could kind of get a fast GLTF. I think it does something weird with the buffer views because like I didn't need to. Yeah, so you can like load GLB buffers and load external buffers, right? So you can have fast GLTF try to load all the buffer views for you. But I might just do it myself just so I actually know how everything's being loaded. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, anyway, let's just get images working. So yeah, preload all the images. Is better than. This is, say, less complex than loading images on demand because the model doesn't need to keep track of which images exist. And also allows for further optimization by creating images in bulk. And then, if needed, can be to get rid of any unused images. Yeah. So I like doing this better. So let's just void model. Yeah, load images. It's fine. So I want to start out right. So we have the asset, and I want to look at the images. It's a vector of these are fast GLTF images. So just gotta get each image out of here. Image. All right, so you have data and name. Yeah, now, yeah, one thing that's confusing me is I don't understand what image name would be because there's nothing in the GLTF spec for a name, right? It's either it's a URI, it's a data URI, or yeah, isn't there something? Oh yeah, I forgot. Like there's something in GLTF like you can just assign things names, but I might just completely ignore that. Something in here for names. Yeah, indices and names is the set. Entities are referenced. For example, buffer views indices, whereas optional names are used for application-specific uses such as display. Okay, yeah, so this would be like extensions or something. You'd use names, and so for right now, I'm not going to care about names. Could probably do something with that later on, but for right now I don't care about names. I just want to make sure that the images are actually loaded. Why is my cursor gone? I don't know, it's just Linux problems, I guess. Right? Just started happening today. I'm not sure what the problem is, because working yesterday just fine. Yeah, my cursor just disappeared. Hold on, let me close this, modified, hold on, whatever, I don't know. I think I just saved and closed something, but whatever. Right, back to model. Open this back up. Here we go. What? Okay, yeah, there's my cursor. So now I want to start loading these images. So in here, I take the asset, the image ID, and then the relative path. Yeah, it's a GLTF path. Okay. Why do I need that? Yeah, well, it's for the caching, but yeah, I can probably, can I get this from the asset? I would think I can. I guess not. Yeah, well, anyway, that's just what was passed in here for path. Yeah. And so I actually want to do for image and images. Well, because I'm passing this the asset in the image ID, but what if I just, do we need, yeah, if I do buffer views, I'm going to need the asset later on, so I don't want to just completely get rid of this, because I could just pass in the image, but that's only going to work for URI stuff later on when I do buffer views. It's not going to work, so I'll just leave it here with image and image ID. Yeah, so this doesn't need to be like that. This needs to be for size ti0 is less than asset images size plus I. So you make a new image with asset I and then path. And then we need to include image. Hopefully there's not some weird recursive dependency problem. No matching constructor. Oh, right, this needs to be, yeah, there we go. Oh, is Twitch unstable? I don't know. Because I got gigabit fiber, so I should have, like, I shouldn't have any kind of problem with that. Anyway. So load images. Yeah, it doesn't match. All right, I'll go ahead and define this. This is going to be private down here. Do I have other private? No. Okay, whatever. Put it down here. Okay, so there it is. New image, load image. Actually, do I even want these to be new? No, I think what I just want is, let's just make this a vector of images, this needs to go here. There we go. And then I can just do in place. So I can do, images in place back. Yes, but yeah, these should always, I hope these are in order. Yeah, they have to be in order. Okay. Just because in place back could, if they were out of order, I'd have to like specify the index, but Yeah, it's fine. Actually, yeah, that's all. Just images in place back. So, yeah. I don't know if I really need to put this in a function, but it's good enough. Okay, so now I have all the images loaded, so I don't need to worry about this. Yeah, so now the texture has an image index. And so then what I need to say, yes, so basically when the material is loaded, then I need to know which, I need to point to one of these images, right? So that's this base texture index. And what that would be is the, not descriptors, pipeline. What that would be is basically that image's position in this infos vector here that eventually gets uploaded to the GPU. So, let's see. Draw. Back to model. So, how am I going to do this? Yeah, so maybe I do want to do something in draw. Yeah, because this is what's handling a lot of my like the indices and all of that are being used in the vertex shader and all that, right? So like this is like the instance data, and this is the index to the instance data, and this also handles like the indirect draw commands. So instance count, first instance, all of that. And so draw, increase. Yeah, so I might want to maybe not sure, right? Because like what this is doing is this is taking that this material data that I'm actually setting here, right? So in here, right, so look, I'm going to the draw command that's being used for this primitive, and then material data alloc. Wait, am I gonna have multiple draw? Hold up. Trying to remember how this works, right? Because right now this looks like I'm gonna have multiple materials per draw command. No, that's fine. Yeah, okay, so what this is doing, so this draw allocators, this is actually a global, yeah, so these are basically all of the memory allocators I'm using for the GPU, for actually allocating stuff on the GPU. So all I'm doing here is I'm reserving a spot for this one material data block that I'm creating, right? And I'm only creating it if it doesn't already exist, right? Material alloc contains primitive material index. Model material alloc, yeah, okay. So this is, yeah, it's a little complicated because I'm like checking if it already exists. So maybe, yeah, maybe something else I want to do is move this materials out of here and do like load materials, same way I'm doing load images. Yeah, because trying to do like doing it just in time or whatever just makes it a little too complicated, and I don't think there's really any benefit. So I probably need to change that around at some point, because it's just going to get more complex from here. But anyway, so yeah, I'm setting this material index to this specific material allocation, and so this material index is like specific to the model. Then this material allocation is where all this material data is going to go on the GPU. And then I write the material data to the GPU right here. Okay. Yeah, otherwise material alloc equals this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, all I really need to do here is figure out its position in this VK descriptor image infos thing. And because of that, oh, I already have this up here. Yeah, okay, so I already have this up here. It's a list of vectors of descriptor image infos, right? So, and what I need to do, yeah, so I have this descriptor name. So I think, actually don't want that there, right? I have this descriptor name, and so what this is going to be, let's just pretend I've got some global variable. What this is an unordered map. Yeah, where it goes from string to, yeah, a vector of images or image infos. I guess image infos, VK descriptor image info. Ideally, this would actually just be images, but I have to, like, what I need to do is have this be a p image info here. Like, it needs to be a pointer just specifically to a whole bunch of image infos. And so it's not gonna work if I have like images here. So anyway, this unordered map, we're gonna call this, I don't know, global image infos or something. All right. And so now this is gonna be global image infos of the descriptor name, the data. There we go. That works. Yep. And then, yeah, we'll do like the same kind of thing for samplers. Or I should have, yeah, I might just have one array of samplers because I don't think I really need multiple sampler arrays. And I mean, really, I could pack everything into one, I could like pack all these images, normals, all this into like one buffer. But that's just, I don't know, it makes more sense to have it like this, just from like a programming perspective. It makes it a little easier to think about when you're looking here, rather than like, oh, you're pointing to, yeah, I do think it's better to have them separate. It would make some of this descriptor code simpler, right? Like I wouldn't need this map. I just have a vector of image infos. But just for like a, I don't know, separations of concerns or whatever, it makes it easier to think about when you're actually like dealing with the shaders themselves. And so I'd rather like the back end be more complicated and then make actually using the shaders a lot simpler. Twitch bitrate keeps, I don't know, average stream bitrate too high, 5300. Like I should be able to do 6 megabit without a problem. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll figure that out. Anyway. Yeah. So here, yeah, so I have my global image infos, and so now basically I would need to fill this somehow. And also, yeah, could this be, can you do that? Can I have like a vector of references? I don't, no, I don't want to do that. Maybe. No, I don't think that would work because I'm doing like .data anyway. I'd probably just copy it over, so whatever. I'm just trying to think about how do I reduce the number of copies, and also image info are really small, so I don't think it really matters even at like 10 million of them. But yeah, I mean, if I'm doing 10 million copies per frame. But anyway, let's just get this working first, and I try to make it fast. Yeah, I want this, basically I want to fill out the VK descriptor image info, whatever, from this stuff. I think VK descriptor image, no. Descriptor image info. What is all this? Okay, so it's sampler, image view, image layout, sampler. Oh, yeah, I do. I either give it a sampler or I give it an image view and image layout. Okay. Yeah, I remember how this works. Image layout. Okay, yeah. And so what's the difference between a sampled image and a storage image? Because I'm not using combined samplers. And it's not important right now. So what's the difference between the two? Because I know I'm using sampled image. I guess is storage image just like you doing like the raw pixels or something? It's not helpful. Specifies a sampled image. Well, yeah. Storage image. Okay, here we go. Sampling operations can be performed on storage image. Storage image, here we go. And atomic operations can be performed on image view load store. Okay, yeah, so basically you can't do a sampler, but you can do like atomics for some reason. Okay. Oh, so that's like if yeah, like if you're like, I don't know, a height map or something and you were editing that on the GPU, something like that, you'd use a storage image. Okay. Yeah, but sampled image is what I want. Yeah, so image view, image layout. So, yeah, and that image view, I create that, I'm pointing that to an image, right? Create image view, yeah, VK image. Okay, so that all makes sense. So, then, so it kind of comes down to how do I want to manage this thing here. So this is the name of the global name of the buffer you're assigned to. And this is the image info. So I think when I'm creating an image, once I create it, I want to add it to this global image infos. So I probably need to put this in like memory manager or something. So it's global. Yeah, then I might end up using my allocator on the CPU, because one of the things is one of these sub allocators, yeah, it's this fixed allocator, and basically I can just sort of randomly get free blocks. Yeah, this is the only one that's guaranteed to be contiguous, so this can be sparse. So I mean, yeah, this is basically just like using new, except it's yeah, what is the difference between using this and new on the CPU? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I want to use it to help me with this. Help me manage these image infos. Yeah, so that when I delete one, then do I need it all to be contiguous? Yeah, I need it to be contiguous. So I actually need to be using the contiguous fixed allocator. This is what I was thinking about. Yeah. And no one's watching this yet, so I won't go over how all this works. But if anyone wants to know how this works, you could let me know. But it's just doing like pop and swap instead of when you delete stuff. put as pop and swap instead of just like the O of n shift all the elements back by one. Anyway, pipeline, global image infos, descriptor image info. Yeah, so instead of a vector, yeah, and why this allocator is more useful than just a vector is because with a vector you just have a pointer, but then when everything on the if like you delete something from the middle of the vector, well now like if I had an image that like owned a pointer for this or something, now the pointer is going to be invalid since it's going to be referring to like whatever was like one block in front of it or something. But instead, what my allocator does is you basically just have like a pointer to a pointer. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. And so when you actually shift elements around, you're always pointing to your data that you allocate. So yeah, I'll probably use this. Yep. Yeah, if I go back and model, yeah, because I need this texture index. And what would that be? That would be the, yeah, that's like the offset into here. Okay, but that's a little different because like this material data, like because what about when this base texture index changes, right? Like that's when I remove something from the buffer, then the base texture index would change. And so then I'd have to update this on all the materials that's referencing it, but and yeah, I mean, like I could have another buffer in here that's like pointers to the indices or something ridiculous like that. But there's a better way to do it. Base texture index. Yeah, so when I create the material or the image, right, then I want to put in that buffer in whatever this global, whatever this is, right? And then I've indexed to it. But then what happens when that index changes because you've removed some element? Then I also need this base texture index to change. Okay. But this material data is what's uploaded directly to the GPU, so I can't just like put like a CPU pointer in there. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I can pointer to pointer or something else. Yeah, this image index, and that goes into base textures. Base texture index. I guess maybe what I could do. So see how like there's a fixed number of, like there's only one image, one normal, one metallic roughness, one ambient occlusion map or whatever per material. What I could do is like, yeah, I have to put everything into one big buffer and then just like pre-allocate those for every material, even if it doesn't use it, I could still have that on the GPU. And then when I can get rid of it, then my material index, which is managed by this whole complicated allocators, or yeah, and here in draw, I think, yeah, they should get updated. Yeah, because I'm doing like pop and swap here. Does it actually get updated on the GPU though? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, that it will get updated on the GPU. But I don't know if I'm rewriting this anywhere, so maybe not. It might not get updated when I delete something. Yeah, and so this is what's like actually really complicated about this rewrite, is how to actually go about managing all of these dynamically add and remove materials when it all needs to be in like contiguous buffers, and trying to do it quickly, because like you could just do it, you could get rid of like all this pop and swap stuff and do it in like then time, but it's kind of slow. Need to just think about this more, about how I actually want to do this. Index is always the same as draw ID, because okay, I'm doing something really weird here. So put material index at GL draw ID. Material index is always the same as GL draw ID, because indirect commands alloc and material index alloc always get alloc and pop and swap together, so their offset should be identical. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, okay, and then this material index doesn't actually change because this material indices allocated. No, it's contiguous fixed. All right, but if I delete something from the middle of it, then won't this index change? Right? Won't the right, like if this is what the current offset is, and that's what I'm writing into here. Oh no, but this is just the index. Okay, so, okay, this is the material itself, right? So this is like the pointer into the buffer of materials. And then this is the block of memory reserved for storing that pointer. And then this is writing that pointer to that block of memory. Okay, and then what I'm doing here is I'm just moving that pointer. Oh, this isn't thread safe. Safe. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just moving that pointer to the pointer around, so everything's fine, except it's not actually thread safe, because like if you have two different draws being deleted at the same time, then like well, yeah, right, like maybe they delete their indirect commands at the same time, but then like one of these does the yeah, I think there's a situation where they can get like mixed up, I think. Or does it matter? I'm not sure. It's a little complicated. But anyway. Material index alloc, right? Material index. So yeah. So then back to this same problem of base texture index. How do I actually deal with this? Well, if I don't think about trying to remove stuff, right? How would I just do this if I'm just adding stuff right now? Well, basically just this in here, right? I just have this global image infos. And then when I create an image, I add I add the descriptor stuff in here when I create an image, right? And then I add that, add that to this vector at specifically for the texture, right? But now that's not necessarily the same thing as the image index, right? Because like you could be putting images between different buffers, right? So basically I need to map this image index to this base texture index. Okay. Well, then first let's start in images. I need to put everything into some kind of globally accessible descriptor image info thing. Right? Or is there a better way to do this? I mean, well, basically, right, I just need to tie an image to the name of a descriptor something, whatever, right? I just need to say, okay, this image needs to be in this array here. And then when I'm actually looking at the material, I need to say, okay, well, that image is at this position in that array. So then this image info. Yeah, like I can, if I needed to, I could like copy this stuff out into another vector. Like I can make this just images. And just store all the images there, but no, I'm already storing them in the model. I think this is fine. It's just like when I do delete the image, I just need to make sure I'm deleting it from here, but deleting things will cause other problems with these indices. So yeah, for now, I will just go ahead and add it to this. So I want to put this into memory manager, and this is not going to be even remotely thread safe, but this will work for now. I just want to declare an identifier image. Oh, they're depending on each other. Or no, model, not. Main file cannot be recursively included. Yeah. Model. Yeah, okay, I think I just do that. Yeah, include, is it fast GLTF? Is it just this? Okay, it's probably this one. Fast GLTF core. Then I need VMA. Include this device. Does that work? Yeah, but it's not direct. No, okay, whatever. Okay, and then this unknown type name model. Yeah, I'll come back to that. But anyway, back in here. Right, and then am I even doing this anymore? I don't think so. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Eventually I'll probably wrap this global image infos like this, but for now I'm just going to comment this stuff out. So I don't need image in here anymore. So I don't need to keep track of the allocator because I need devices. And yeah, I don't need images. So I don't need to include image. I don't need include Vulkan whatever. Vector. Standard vector, okay. Global image infos, yeah, that's good enough. Images, yeah, just comment all this out. Okay, there we go. Now, when I'm creating an image, yeah, so once I have all this stuff in here, right, then I want to go to the memory manager. Global image infos. And so I need to know, it's a problem. I need to know the shader's buffer name that I'm trying to add this to. Maybe I don't want to do this here. Right, maybe this is more dealing in like when I'm doing the descriptor stuff. Yeah, because here, yeah, so when I'm doing the descriptor layout, I'm adding an image, and that name is the name. Am I doing anything with name? No, I'm not doing anything with name in image. Okay, so this is where I need to do it. But I don't want to create the image here because this is just the descriptor layout. Like I'm actually creating the images and all that when loading the model. But I do need to keep track of this name. And I could put it in this binding layout. Layout buffer name. Yeah, actually it shouldn't be buffer name, it should just be like descriptor name. Yeah, okay. Descriptors, binding layout. Yeah. This should just be descriptor name. There we go. Change it in here. There. And then pipeline. Isn't it? Yeah, descriptor name. That's fine, I guess. You should actually be a const reference. Okay. Yeah, so I've had this all along. But still, how do I register the image with this name? Well, when I'm in model, right, like I know that it's going to be on, yeah, so when it's base texture, yeah, okay. So I probably need some way of, I need some better way of mapping between the, between these, like the samplers and the base text, the descriptors in the shader and the actual image data. Because what I'm doing for the buffers is I just have, I'm just like using the name, right? So all the shaders that you would load in, if you give two shaders in the shaders, right? If the buffers have the same name, then they'll be the same buffer, right? I mean, eventually I could do things like just having a specific scope or context, but that's too much right now. Just want to get this working first. So let's see. All right, and so that works fine for buffers, but it doesn't work fine for this stuff, unless if I want to like manually specify that base textures has to be like if you want to load a texture from a GLTF file, it has to be base textures, right? Because the idea is like someone will be able to add in custom shaders later on. Like not even me, right? Like someone just like running the program could load in a custom shader and it would like figure everything out for you. But yeah, there might need to be some extra metadata about what this buffer is actually going to be called. All right, like I think I kind of have. How am I handling? Yeah, like somehow I'm mapping like what is it, like the instance indices or something into the draw command, right? Am I like, how am I doing that? Am I manually doing the buffer or something? I don't think so. Pipeline. Yeah, so that's all descriptor rights. That's fine, right? But then how, like how do I know what's the vertex buffer, right? Am I just calling it the vertex buffer? It's not exactly descriptor in there, but it's the same kind of thing. How do I know what the vertex buffer is? That's the layout. Render. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I'm manually calling this vertex buffer, index buffer. Yeah, and instance data, indirect commands. Okay. Yeah, and so some of this stuff is internal, right? But like instances, this is shared between the GPU and the CPU, right? Right, and like in draw operators, it's called instance data, right? But in the shader, it's called instances. So just think about in the future, then when you're loading a shader, you probably also would need to have some kind of metadata along with the shader to map these, shader names to some kind of managed buffer or something. I don't know. Right, because like this is how I know it's a vertex buffer, is because it's literally just called vertex buffer. And then I'm assigning the buffer here, right? Yeah, or like assigning instance data. But if I were to like go in the vertex shader, right, and change this from instances, well then now this just won't even load because it won't be able to find the it'll probably crash, or you probably, yeah, I think it would run the vertex shader with like an empty instances buffer or something. Yeah, so like it's this kind of mapping that I would need to have some kind of metadata for. But for now, I can just use fixed names. So just put a to-do in here. Of like interface mapping for shader buffer names to required buffers. As metadata in the shader, something like that, right? Or maybe it's like OpenUSD or something. If you're like trying to describe like shaders and all that, so maybe be something in there. I don't know, right? And so like for things like cold instance indices or whatever, right? Like the this isn't actually used on this CPU for anything. So it doesn't matter, right? Because that's for these compute shaders trying to do or yeah, like prefix sum, prefix partial sums, whatever, right? Like all this stuff is internal to the compute shader. So the CPU doesn't care about any of this stuff. So you don't need to have that mapped, but it's only for stuff that are only for buffers that are required, right? And so that would be not really the vertex buffer, because that's kind of all on the CPU. But you need to have some kind of like instance data buffer in your vertex shader, some kind of material data buffer in your vertex shader, and then something to like keep track of the something to like get the instances into these buffers, right? So I guess the shaders, any shader you use with this would have to conform to a specific interface, where you have your instances, materials, instance indices, materials, material indices, and then yeah. And so maybe instead of like trying to pass metadata in with the shader, it would be better to just force these to have a certain name. It's probably better, just because it's less complexity, less things can go wrong, and it's not really important what the name of the descriptor is anyway. Like you can call it whatever you want here. You just need the descriptor name to be the same. Okay, so that's fine then. Then these can just have fixed names, and that's not a problem. So yeah, samplers, so base textures, right? So then what I want to do is if, and here, right, so this is base texture index, right? So image index has value, texture image index, right? So that means that this image is being used as a base texture. And also now I think about it, I mean, theoretically could add a texture into multiple or an image into multiple buffers, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, like I guess if you wanted to like for debugging purposes, and like you wanted to draw the like the normal map or something, like directly on like the side of a on the side of some kind of model instead of like actually using the normal map, you could do something like that. But for now, yeah, and then that makes managing those pointers even more complicated if you start deleting stuff. But anyway, so we just have base texture index, and then right. So I want to go to like memory manager, no, global image infos, and I want to say global image infos of so this would be like base textures, right? And I might make, yeah, I want to make this like constant or something, but anyway, dot push back, not this. Right, but I do want to get the index. Is there, what is, does pushback, is it void? Yeah, is there something with a vector where it'll return the, like I know there's insert, right? Like, does insert at the end work for me? Like, I just want to store the index or whatever. Yeah, I could do like end minus begin or something. Yeah, there's size, but size isn't thread safe. But am I doing? Yeah, I am. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this multi-threaded object refresh. Object create threads. I guess not. When am I actually loading in these models? Because if I'm pretty sure I'm doing multi-threaded model loading. Yeah, because that's okay. Yeah, it's just object refresh. So maybe not. Let me see. I'm just trying to think about trying to make this thread safe. That's why I don't want to exactly just use pushback. I might just, like, I could just put a mutex here, but that's kind of bad. Slow. Whatever. Or object manager, like where am I actually creating models? Add object. Is that in here? Get model. Okay, yeah, model manager. Yeah, model. Okay, these are just single threaded right now. Okay, that's fine then. Then I don't have to care about any multi-threaded stuff right now. But just, or maybe just to do not thread safe. Okay. So yeah, pushback is fine. Right, global image infos, and then this is, yeah, I just need a descriptor image info for the base texture, and so that's this texture image index. So then I need to get the let's call this an image pointer, or I'm doing in place. Yeah, I think this is fine. Reference image equals images of texture image index value, right? Use of non-static data member images, any const reference or something. Model, yeah, image const reference, image, or hold on. No, I want, yeah, okay, fine, get image, that works. St image index, return images of image index. There we go. And so this should be model get image reference to non-static. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Image finding a const. There we go. Image dot. Why is that public? It's not. Oh, yeah, it is. VK descriptor image info. Okay. Yeah, just put this here. And then I can just fill this out. Okay, descriptor, that doesn't need a type or anything. No, it's just need to put the image view and the layout in there. Okay. So yeah, after I load the pixels, then I'm gonna get the image info. Okay, that's descriptor. Okay, that's image create info. Let's just rename this. There we go. Image info dot image view equals VK image view image info image layout equals layout. What am I? Layout. That's is that like the optimal whatever? Yeah, it's this stuff. Well, it should be in yeah, like shader read only optimal or something, right? So I think that's okay. Yeah, initial layout is transfer DST. Yeah, okay, so I need to do transition layout. This stuff can actually go here as well. Layout transfer DST optimal. It's not great, but might even be a validation error. I don't know. At least a warning. But anyway, just for now. Okay. And then this needs to be image info. There we go. So this can actually just go here, because I'm not reusing it. Okay, yeah, that's a little long. Just do it like that. Okay, and then base texture index equals this. Dot back. Sliding to uint from size T. Okay, then, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's signed up. Shouldn't have more than 32 or 42 billion, what? Wait. No, oh, wait, yeah, not dot back, size. There we go. Can this auto convert? Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so, and then fix me update index if when a texture is deleted. Okay. Yeah, so that should load in the texture. Yep, so there's the base texture index, size, and then in the pipe, no, or yeah, the descriptor stuff up here. Yeah, so it's not global image infos, it's memory manager, yeah, I know there's a better way to do the globals, this just works fine. Yeah, I mean, I do need to change how I'm doing these globals, though. I'm doing the same thing with the device. It's not great to be doing it like this. But anyway, and this is... Do I have a get function for this? Okay, yeah, it's just global image infos, which is really not great, but... Global image infos. And then include memory manager. There we go. So that should work. I mean, it's not even going to compile now because sampler is still broken. I don't have sampler set up. But if I do try to use a texture now, at least like a base color texture or whatever, then it should show up. Should at least be on the GPU and have the correct pointers and everything, and the fragment shader is set up. So now I just need to get the sampler working, and then that should be it. Then I should be able to get textures working. Okay. Let's see. So go back to image. I don't know if I want to put sampler in a separate file, but this is fine for now. So yeah, I have to load samplers from the asset. Yeah, and this is easy because this is just loading stuff. Like I'm not creating a lot of things. I'm just creating the sampler. Sampler, MIP levels. Oh yeah, I'm not doing MIP maps and then whatever. Yeah, so it's probably like I'm setting MIP levels here. So there's probably gonna be things that break. Yeah. MIP levels. Do I set this to 0 or 1? If I don't have MIP maps. Let's see. Okay, image, create info, MIP levels, description, tiling linear. Okay, so I guess MIP levels should just be 1. Okay, yeah, MIP levels must be greater than 0. That's what I was looking for. Yep. So, text width, text height. Yeah. Let's edit this. Comment that out. Underscore MIP levels equals 1. There we go. So I won't have a problem with like missing MIP maps. Transition layout, yep. That should actually probably fix me. Anyway. So sampler ID, yeah, map levels, it's fine. And then this is fast GLTF asset const reference asset. And then if model is not null pointer. Oh, so this is like a default sampler? Yeah, okay. I think instead I want to do how I'm doing with image, and I just have like a default constructor. That's a little easier, because now this is like a const reference. Or wait, no, that's what this is. What? Why does this exist? Yeah, okay, this doesn't need to exist. Yeah, just get rid of all that. And then this should actually go here. And then this should go to the snake case. Why? I don't know why these don't update. Whatever. Mip levels. Okay. Yeah, so now model samplers. Now it's asset samplers. That might just work like that. Because it should have, yeah, it just has samplers. And I don't know if it'll have like mag filter, but. Switch filter, okay. Yeah, okay, it just works like that. Great. Oh, optional. Okay, it always has a wrap, but these are optional. Okay. And what else is there? All this stuff. Yeah, repeat, linear, whatever. Wait. What? Yeah, like, okay. Yeah, okay, just got rid of the if statement and not the rest of it. GLTF doesn't support W coordinates, alright. Map linear, sampler. Do I even need to set nib levels? I don't think so. Because I'm not, like I just have the constructor. Okay, and then should be like VK sampler. VK sampler. Oh, and I want to set the debug name. Yeah, the rest of these I want to set the debug name on. Whatever, just do. Anyway. Sampler, VK destroy sampler, yep. VK sampler. Okay, so I need to fix the optionals here, fix this. Fix this. Sampler ID, this is VK sampler. VK sampler. VK sampler, this is a const reference. Check results. That just needs to go just in case. There we go. Now switch filter, switch wrap. Alright. So this would come from the old one. Image. Where did this come from? That was up here. Don't I have these up here? Yeah. What? Switch filter. No matching function called. Okay. Because these are wrap, repeat. What? What? Okay. Or wait, is this just... What is that? Let's see, pull up the FastGLTF docs. Sampler. What? Sampler not in here? Here we go. So it's a wrap. Okay, but you're not going to tell me what a wrap is. Okay, great. Yeah, optional filter wrap. Yeah, but what are those? You don't tell me in the documentation. Okay. Well, do you have any methods? No. You tell me absolutely nothing. Wrap repeat. Okay, and then these are optionals, but then these are also filters. So let me back filter, min filter, yeah. So if not or whatever, if has value, then do things. Otherwise, sampler info mag filter equals vk filter linear. Okay, and then this goes in here, and then I copy paste this for the min filter. So back, it's min. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. That's like this style value or something, but it's not actually that because that's some weird internal GLTF thing, I think. So I guess I have to look at the source code for this. Source IXX, is this? Nope. It's all in here. Okay, so what is wrap? Sampler object, get number. What? Okay, yeah, this is the static cast. Wrap number, static cast. Okay. But what is a wrap? That's what I want to know. If wrap is not repeat. What? Core types? That sounds right. Alpha modes. Wrap. Wrap repeat, yeah. But what is this? Class wrap, clamp to edge. Okay, they're just enums. Okay. Enum class, standard uint 16. So, fast GLTF filter. So I like static cast these back to like a uint or something. Is that how this works? And I could take uint 16s instead. Just see what this does. Does that work? Oh, I just did something. Okay. Does this work now? No. That didn't do anything. Uint 32. Where? Yeah, so these are just an enum. Yeah, I want to convert that enum into Vulkan stuff. So, and that's what I'm doing up here. these switch case statements. So I guess, can I just static cast these back to uints? Static cast, he's using uint 16t, so whatever. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Okay. Sure. Switch wrap, this is going to be exactly the same. Okay, there we go. I guess I can change these to 16s. Yeah, because 16 bits, I don't know how much that goes up to. Is that like 65536 or something? I don't know. Let's do the 16. Yeah, 65536. So that's fine. Okay. I guess I'll make this a little bigger. There we go. Okay. So is that sampler? Yep. I think that's sampler working. And then I just need to actually get this onto the GPU. So sampler global image infos. I can technically just jam sampler in here because it's also just descriptor image info. I'll just do that for now. So actually, these are just the same. These are exactly the same. Oh yeah, I need to set descriptor count. That's this dot size. Type, aka unsigned long. And do I need to convert this? I guess so, because it's a smaller cast or whatever. Okay. I thought I didn't have to do that somewhere else. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, that's good. And then I can just put samplers in here. And so how does that work in GLTF? So like the image has the value, but then like I need the sampler for this or something. Oh yeah, and I also need to set the in here. Yeah, so like VK create sampler. I also need the image info. So copy this. No, wait, where? Image info. Oh, why is it all the way up here? It should be like here or something. Image info. Yeah, that's fine. And then info dot sampler equals VK sampler. Yep, that's all. Okay, and then I need to actually load the sampler. Where? So yeah, since this is a sampled image, it has to have a sampler tied to it. But yeah, I could just have one sampler, or how does this work? GLTF samplers. Sampler stored in sampler array. Samplers should use integer enums. Yeah, whatever. What actually uses samplers? materials, right? Like texture source. Yeah, like you're pointing to a texture, but shouldn't you be pointing to a sample? There's a fly in my face. What actually refers to a sampler? Yeah. So client implementation should follow specified filtering modes when the latter are undefined. Client implementations may set their own default texture filtering settings. So, yeah, I'm just gonna guess for now. I just want one sampler. That's a default sampler. Yeah, but what would actually, all right, what would actually call a sampler? Where's that, here it is. Samplers, okay, yeah, so texture can contain a sampler. Texture source, and a reference to a sampler. Does it have to have a sampler? It'd be nice if it's required to have a sampler, because then I don't have to guess. I don't have to just make it up, but no, I don't think it does require. Textures defined. Okay, and a sampler index. So when texture source is undefined, it should be provided by an extension. When sampler is undefined, okay, here we go. Sampler with repeat wrapping and auto filtering must be used. Okay. So that would be, yeah, repeat wrapping. Decay filter. Yeah, I guess just linear. Okay. So, yeah, and there is this thing about MIP levels. So, like, yeah, like I have to, once I have MIP maps working, I'll have to create more samplers per MIP level, right? So textures. Okay, so this is when I'm loading up a texture, which would be, yeah, loading an image. Okay. Images.size. Images. Okay. So then I want to say asset images of I dot. What? Or no, that's. Oh, that's just that. Okay. I mean, I can preload sampler as well. Like, I just need to preload everything instead of trying to do it on demand. But all right, so texture, be in texture dot sampler index. Okay, here we go. Sampler index has value. If sampler index has a value, then yeah, otherwise I want to use default sampler. Sampler index has value. And I want to set the material data dot sampler index. Otherwise, 0th sampler can be only 0. Problem is the whole MIP levels thing, so I can't just have like one sampler that would work for everything. But for now, I can do that. But yeah, fix me. Need a sampler per, need a default sampler per MIP levels used. Okay. All right, and then material data, and then so if I want a default sampler, I think I actually want to put that in a model manager. Yeah, because before I load any models, I want to load a default sampler. I need to have memory manager in here. Oh, I already have it. Okay. No, I don't. Anyway. Memory manager. global image infos of samplers dot pushback. I guess really it should be insert at 0. And I need to keep track of the default sampler. So yeah, I guess I can keep track of them per mid level into here. So standard onward map of I guess these can be uints to sampler pointers called default samplers, right? And so that'll be the mid levels. And yeah. So for now it's just like this, but yeah. So I need to create this. So I'm going to say what I call it, default samplers. Underscore default samplers dot I need to use new anyway. Default samplers of 0 equals new sampler of 0. Yeah, that works. And then this is default samplers of 0. Matching function call for insert. Oh, right. It's this, but it's the image info. Right? What did I do wrong? I had a viewer. Are you still here? Hello? Oh, okay. It just doesn't show it on Twitch. Yeah, I'm working on my game engine, and so right now I don't know how much you know about like Vulkan and C++ stuff, but right now I'm just trying to get textures working, so like I can load in well, any kind of texture. And so what I'm working on specifically right now is the actual samplers for the texture. And I do have everything kind of working on an old, like I kind of have 2 copies of my engine. One of them, everything is very static. So like if you want to draw a scene, you have to kind of define the scene in C++ at compile time. And then when you run it, you just have the default scene or whatever you define in there. But with this, what I'm kind of trying to rewrite everything right now to have it fully dynamic, so you can like add and remove objects and models and whatever you want. Yeah, and so right now I'm just trying to figure out how to get images working. Yeah, so you have any other questions, just ask. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so samplers insert, yeah, no matching member function for call to insert. Is it, pretty sure I can do it like this. Do I just say like dot begin or something? I don't know. I guess I can just do pushback, that's fine. There we go. Yeah, that was something. Right, so now, so what I just did here is, this is how I'm keeping track of all these samplers for the images, at least on the CPU side. And so I'm just adding the like Vulkan data for it in here, and then when and then every frame I have this update descriptors function that runs, and it will go and update all like these Vulkan objects and pointers on the GPU. So when it actually goes into my shader code, then it can actually go and like load the samplers and the textures and all that. Right, and then so here I'm pulling the color out of the texture with the coordinates, and then multiplying that by the base color, and then I get the output color. So, and I think I got everything working now for the most part. I mean, I have like fixed me's and to-dos everywhere, because a lot of this is still very static. But at least for now, I think I got it working. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna have compile errors, but I think I did everything I needed. Yeah, okay, here we go. Lots of compile errors. Globals defined, not used. No member name, delete image. Okay, swap chain. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why that was there. Swap chain 18. Okay. Delete image. Yeah, I was just redoing all the images and I haven't compiled everything a little bit because I had so many errors. But it looks like I got rid of some stuff I was using for the swap chain, which is kind of like the oh, what'd you use for your game engine? Well, let me see if I can pop out the chat so I don't have to like look at. Yeah, there we go. Have it closer to my screen now so I can actually see. Anyway, yeah, so I changed a whole bunch of this stuff. I used Embarcado, Delphi, and OpenGL. I haven't heard of Embarcadero or Delphi. Oh yeah, Delphi's like a programming language, right? I've never used it before. Yeah, OpenGL. Yeah, and like my end goal for all this is just to try to like make the game that I always wanted to play. So like everything I have, actually, I guess I should put the GitHub link in the description or something. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the GitHub link for it. Yeah, Delphi. Yeah, I've never really used Pascal. I think in college I had a class I used it for like one homework project. Yeah. Yeah, but mostly I just use C++ for stuff. Yeah, maybe I should take a look at Delphi or something. Yeah, but anyway, so get back to this. So no member. Yep. So I changed around how all this stuff works, and apparently I shouldn't have done that. So create image, height, width. Okay. Yeah. So what I did here. So the swap chain. So this is kind of the part of Vulkan that holds all of the like the images on the GPU before you actually present them to the screen. Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't recommend it. All right. But anyway, so the swap chain is what holds all the images for the screen, and then you tell Vulkan to actually present the image once you finish rendering to it. But as I was like kind of redoing how I manage like texture images, I didn't realize I was using kind of the same code to manage the swap chain images. And so now I need to figure out how to actually do this correctly. I guess for right now, yeah, I can just bring all this stuff back to where it was before. Yeah, because I'm not using any of this anymore. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know, hold on, let me just pull up old code on GitHub, copy paste it over, because that's going to be easier than trying to like remember how all this works. No, it's renderer, Vulkan, memory manager. Yeah, this is what I need. Okay, so image, create image, delete image, all this stuff. paste? No. Hold on. Does this not want to copy paste? Come on. Copy. Paste. Oh. Let's see, Control Shift V. I never remember how to. Oh, I might not have. Oh no, that's right. Right? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Just didn't want to copy and paste. Okay. Alright, this should be snake case now. Oh. Okay. Well, anyway. So, memory manager, pull this back up. And then, yeah, so create image, delete image. Yep, that's what I want. Copy. Paste. Here we go. My professional software developer. Kind of. My job title is cloud engineer. So I work for a big corporation. I do everything from like a lot of the stuff I do is like Linux system administration, but then I also work on like our internal infrastructure as a service stuff, so like Ansible and all that. And then I also work with like actually managing our cloud infrastructure in the first place. And then also do like some security compliance stuff. So like, for example, one of the projects I worked on was putting better image validation checks into our like internal virtual machine deployment stuff. So like you can only deploy images that you've been specifically approved for as just like a security thing. So that's like one of the projects I worked on at work recently. So it's not exactly like, it's not like I'm not doing C++ code 8 hours a day for my job. But I do like it a lot. Let's see. I thought oh no, I only changed it there. Oh, that needs to be. There we go. Yeah, if I said the company name, you'd know. I just don't want to give too much information about myself. It's not a tech company, but it's still a big company. All right. So let's see, yeah, so I put all this stuff back where it was. Yeah, so it's just like creating basic images. So I definitely need to rework how I'm handling these swap chain images. Because now like I have this doing images and then I have my actual image here, right? Like I might rename this to like texture or something, I'm not sure. Let's see if it at least compiles and then I can rename things afterwards. Okay, no matching function call to write. Invalid conversion from const to void pointer to void pointer. Okay, or is that const int pointer node candidate? Okay, just something about const references. So required from image 77 text width. This shouldn't be const though. Oh, yeah, why am I taking that as a const reference? If I'm trying to... Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, so what this is I have my library for reading and writing files, and I made some changes to it to make it work well for reading and writing images. But I did something wrong with like const references, so it should be in here. So it's telling me matching function recall to write. So line 88. Yeah, take a const reference to data. Yeah, I'm writing that data to the open file, so this should be const. And then near match. Okay, so this is just because this is a void pointer. Okay, so it's like discard const or something. Yeah, so this just needs to be a const void pointer or something. That should work. Yeah, read is non-const, but this is const. That fix it. I think I have to go in here. Also change this. That should do it. Okay, now what's wrong? Name, warning, unused variable, yeah, whatever. Warning, control use end of non-void function. Set HPP 102. Oh, yeah. Return true. Okay. Statement has no effect. Oh, right. Not done yet. Read file, define not used. Define not used. Undefined reference to STBI. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, if you follow me, I should be on maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends how my schedule works out. If you want to come back on. Oh, yeah, but I'll usually stream kind of later, except on the weekends. So I don't know if my schedule really works out with yours, but yeah, it's good to meet you. Anyway. See you. So, yeah, control, yeah, I fixed that, but yeah, so here, that's a problem. I think I'm not setting, yeah, so if it has a sampler, I'm just gonna throw an error because I'm not creating them yet. So, yeah. Okay, there we go. Image, undefined reference to STBI. Okay. So, why are you an undefined reference? So I have STB, oh, don't I have to say like STB image implementation or something? How does this work? Yeah, STB image implementation. That goes right before it. So in here or something. Let's see if that works. Oh, there we go. I've never seen all this before, but alright. Fine but not used. Redefinition. Something's not right. I guess this needs to go here. undefined reference. Do I have build stuff set up right? Wait, it should, yeah, external STB target include directory, so that should be good. How do I use this? Am I not including it right? There we go. Okay. Let's see if this crashes.